Welcome to the Official Personality Guru. In the personality community, there is a lot of emphasis on the ideal versions of the different types of the myers-briggs type indicator, or MBTI. For instance, the INTJ, the architect, is lauded for their rationality, intelligence, independence, determination, and curiosity. However, there are also a few less than positive qualities associated with the different personality types. These become particularly evident when an individual is under stress. When unhealthy INTJs feel threatened when someone infringes on their independence or questions their competence, this leads to several dysfunctional ego defensive strategies. They tend to become even more emotionally closed off than they usually are and avoid all situations that might make them feel uncomfortable or incompetent. Unhealthy INTJs become excessively perfectionistic and task-oriented, feeling that they have to prove their competence to the world. They become impatient and critical of the people around them and tend to dismiss people instead of listening to them. Unhealthy INTJs can often feel misunderstood and like they're all alone in the world. Today, let's talk about signs of an unhealthy INTJ. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the Official Personality Guru and ring the bell icon to get regular updates on our latest uploads. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. INTJs are well regarded in the typology community for their vision, insight, and strategic prowess. Many times, the word INTJ feels synonymous with the words intelligent, prodigious, and intellectual. But what happens when you meet an INTJ who doesn't seem to possess many of the qualities that INTJs are praised for? Or what happens when you're dealing with an unhealthy INTJ? 1. They have a superiority complex. Unhealthy INTJs get caught up in their visions, ideas, and intellectual theories. They so highly value intuition and thinking that they devalue or dismiss input from sensing, feeling, or perceiving types. They may refuse to entertain ideas by people with SF or P preferences, seeing them as unreliable and of little use in comparison to themselves. Every personality type, when unhealthy, tends to view people with opposite preferences in a negative light. Instead of seeing the positive of their differences, they only project their weaknesses in these areas onto others. Since INTJs are naturally skilled in sensing areas, then without practice, they see sensing types as unskilled. Since unhealthy INTJs don't trust their feeling side, they view feeling types as untrustworthy. This isn't an exclusive tendency of INTJs. Every type can do this. ESFPs may feel superior to INTJs, ESTJs may feel superior to INFPs, and so on. 2. They form unfair judgments of emotionally expressive people. Unhealthy INTJs tend to find emotional, demonstrative, exuberant people annoying. They often struggle to trust them and wonder if they have ulterior motives. They may enjoy knocking these types down a peg or condescending to them instead of approaching them with an open mind. INTJs have trickster, extroverted feelings. Because of this, they tend to see strong expressions of emotions or people who promote group values to be suspect. Healthy INTJs realize that there are strengths in differences and approach extroverted feeling types, EFJs, with an open mind. Unhealthy INTJs project trickster feeling onto FJ types and may put them down, belittle them, or simply refuse to communicate amicably with them. 3. They are cut off from their own emotions. When INTJs don't give sufficient weight to their feeling side, they become hard on themselves and disconnect their link to the emotional world. They become overly fixated on productivity and accomplishment at the expense of their individual emotional needs and desires. When their emotions flare up, they see them as untrustworthy and rapidly push them aside. This continued tendency propels them down a path that is ultimately unsatisfying for them because it doesn't coincide with their deeper cravings and emotional needs. It can also make them tactless, brusque, and lacking in empathy for others. 4. They force logic to fit their ideas. Healthy INTJs are more interested in knowing the truth than being right. Unhealthy INTJs will bend the facts and the logic to fit their vision or idea. These INTJs don't seem like the stereotypical masterminds of the MBTI community. Their arguments are filled with logical loopholes, and they're unwilling to entertain ideas or facts that would contradict their perspectives. When INTJs get to an unhealthy state, their dominant function, introverted intuition, takes over and gets overinflated. Intuition is less concerned with logic and facts than it is with ideas and visions and predictions. When intuition is overinflated, INTJs will bend their thinking side to support their intuitive side. Thinking becomes less independent and less objective and more warped and enslaved to the dominant intuitive process. 5. They disregard their health and physical well-being. INTJs can be so fixated on ideas and goals that they lose touch with the physical world around them. When this happens, they tend to deprioritize sleep, healthy eating, or exercise. They can become out of touch with their bodily needs, forgetting to hydrate, rest, or eat the right amount of meals in a day. INTJs are intuitive, dominant personality types. The world of concepts and predictions is what drives them and gets them excited. The physical sensory world is much less intriguing to them, so they are at risk of ignoring it or devaluing it, where an ISTJ would instantly notice the sensation of thirst or fatigue. The INTJ can be blind to these things and end up in a perpetual state of discomfort, fatigue, or dehydration. 6. They give you the silent treatment. INTJs tend to be internal processors when it comes to their feelings. They don't typically feel the need to rehash how they feel to other people. While this isn't always a bad thing, it can turn into a negative thing in relationships or friendships. When INTJs get offended or irritated by someone, they may just close that person off rather than try to work out problems and search for misunderstandings. INTJs are introverts, so they're more likely to think before they process out loud. They also have tertiary introverted feeling. Introverted feeling is an internal way of mapping out emotions and understanding them. When INTJs feel something deeply, they're likely to sort out their emotions on their own rather than seeking advice or input from others. This can leave their partner, friend, or family member feeling lost when it comes to where the INTJ is emotional. Healthy INTJs know that emotional expression and input are important, so they balance their internal processing with sharing and healthy vulnerability. Unhealthy INTJs tend to just cut people off or go silent, potentially missing out on reconciliation or deeper understanding. 7. They regularly act impulsively and recklessly. INTJs who are experiencing chronic extreme stress will have bouts of unexpected impulsivity and recklessness. They may habitually binge eat, spend devastating amounts of money, or give into road rage. They may also have less negative ways of dealing with stress, like overcleaning, blasting loud music, or exercising until they are exhausted. When INTJs are severely stressed, they fall into the grip of their inferior function, extroverted sensation, or SE. When this happens, they become uncharacteristically impulsive and focused on the sensory world around them. They are more likely to seem like unhealthy ESFPs than INTJs during times like this. 8. Their visions and ideals lack real-world data. When INTJs push their need for introversion to an extreme, they can become out of touch with the world around them. They still develop visions and ideas, but those ideas lack weight because they're not balanced with information and facts from reality. The inferior function of the INTJ, extroverted sensation, SE, gathers real-world data in the present moment. The more INTJs experience the real world through a variety of projects, activities, and interactions, the more data sensation can feed to intuition. It's vital for INTJs to get out in the world regularly, to read up on facts, and to get input from experiences so that their intuitions are more accurate and realistic. Of course, they still need to make sure they're balancing this with adequate alone time. How about you? As an INTJ or any other personality type, what do you think are the signs of an unhealthy personality? Be sure to watch until the end and share your experience for a chance to have your comment pinned. 9. They don't care how you feel. This is where the INTJ stereotypes can show up in real life. Healthy INTJs may not always be aware of how people feel, but they still consider vital interpersonal needs. Unhealthy INTJs legitimately don't care how other people feel. They're so fixated on their own goals and ideas that they dislike making room for anyone else's emotional needs. Without adequate development of feeling, INTJs can become lopsided in their development. Introverted intuition is fixated on finding underlying meanings and predictions. The INTJ's auxiliary function, extroverted thinking, is focused on organizing and structuring the world for efficiency and effectiveness. If INTJs refuse to give way to the feeling side of their personality, they develop the false belief that other people's feelings are insignificant to the larger picture. Before we continue, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give us a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the Official Personality Guru for more amazing videos. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to stay updated with our content. 10. Their way is the only right way. Unhealthy INTJs get tunnel vision about their ideas and visions. It is difficult for them to think outside of their predictions, and they can become close-minded to other views and perspectives. Overinflation of the INTJ's dominant function, introverted intuition, can result in stubbornness and single-minded fixation on one vision or idea. Stubbornness isn't always bad, but unhealthy INTJs are so singularly focused that they block out anything that would contradict them. Sometimes, this is the result of opposing role extroverted intuition, and sometimes, it is a lack of development of the auxiliary function.